So before I start, is everyone familiar with the term shisha? No, I can see some nods and hands up. Is anyone familiar with the term argila? Okay, so we'll get right into it. But before I do that, it's good to know who knows and who doesn't. So this particular project is a 2-year project that has been funded by the Cancer Institute New South Wales. We've got multiple project partners collaborating on this particular project. We've also got our lead community project partner, the Lebanese Muslim Association. So our target group for this particular project is Arabic-speaking communities, young adults aged 18 to 35. So there's an image on the slide. So this is a shisha or a argila or a hookah or a hubbly bubbly. So it's got different names. So you may have heard of the different names. So for those of you who don't know, this is a form of smoking that is socially accepted, and it's a culturally practice with the Arabic-speaking communities and some other community members. So this particular device, it looks quite fancy. So there's water. I'll just quickly explain how it is, because some people said they don't know what it is. So there's water that goes on the bottom of the vase, and there's tobacco or flavored molasses, which goes on top of the top of the device. So that is actually smoked through that hose that you can see, through the mouthpiece, and the smoke travels from the tobacco into the hose, back into the water, and then from the water comes back and enters the mouth. So this particular form of smoking has been around for a long time, and the reason why we're focusing on the Arabic-speaking community is that it's one of the community that it is heavily or socially accepted. It's a common practice, and we're seeing it increase a lot within the last 10 to 15 years, not only within Western communities and Western cultures, but also in the European cultures as well. So it's very, very high among university, college, TAFE students as well. So we're seeing that through not only in Australia but overseas as well, in the Gulf countries, European countries and the Asian countries as well. So there's not a lot of research currently about shisha smoking. It's peaking up again in the last 10 years or so about some of the harms of water pipe smoking. With the amount of, we know there's a lot of research with tobacco and cigarette smoking, however, not as much with water pipe smoking. So you can guess that if there's not enough research, there's very little research about some of the interventions and what works and what doesn't. So this causes particular challenge for health professionals. A lot of health professionals are either unaware about shisha smoking, they don't know how it works, they don't know that it contains tobacco. So this actually poses a lot of challenge for doctors and other health professionals. So the current project that we are doing, it's a research translation project that there was a research done in 2017 that talked about, it was with the community that was with Southeast Sydney LHD and UNSW. So that looked at the reasons sort of why it's so high among the Arabic-speaking communities and some of the intervention method that we could potentially do. So along that research came about how we can actually develop a intervention that's suitable, culturally appropriate for the communities. So our aim is again to raise awareness about the harms of water pipe smoking for young adults, the families and friends of Arabic-speaking communities in the St. George and Bankstown area. So our main objective is again to raise awareness, but not only in the community, but also to our community partners, to also our stakeholders, our project partners, health professionals as well, the community members and participants. So as well as raising awareness, we also want to get communities involved, health professionals involved, and develop some culturally appropriate resources that are shisha specific for the community. So some of the methods that we've used, so you can see there's 5 phases. Phase 1 is identifying community champions or identifying champions. So with this, again, we've used cultural we've used community champions, community members. We've also got on board health professionals, GPs, dentists, other allied health professionals on board, so they would be acting as community champions. Through that, we've used community engagement methods such as co-design workshops to actually get the community involved and develop resources or interventions that are culturally acceptable and safe, and that will be followed on, because we see there's a lot of intervention that doesn't actually work or that the community are not aware about. So Shisha is quite a sensitive topic, especially to the Arabic-speaking community. So hence, the ideas coming from them, we're more likely to actually start the conversation about the harms of water pipe. So phase 3 and phase 4 is currently where we're sort of at. So commissioning the project, we're actually launching this particular project next month, October 15th. So we're really, really excited about that. We've got a range of Sorry, something came up on the screen, that's why. So we've got a range of videos coming up. We've also developed a range of fact sheets. We've also got phase 5 of the project is a social media campaign. So we're launching that through social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. So some of the achievements up until now, we've engaged with health professionals. We've engaged with over 12 health professionals ranging from GPs to dentists to allied health, all from Arabic-speaking communities. We've also engaged with project partners and increased knowledge about the harms of water pipe smoking. We've also involved a lot of the community members to say that it's okay to talk about shisha smoking. So the photos that you can see are from our recent video campaign that would be launched on October 15th. So it was a successful day, and hopefully I can't share the video now, but keep an eye out for hashtag ShishaNoThanks. You will see it shortly. We're also involved, we're working with the internationally as well with the American University of Beirut. So they do a lot of work around the harms of water pipe smoking. So they're the forefront of water pipe and in that smoking space. So we're collaborating with them to see how else we can work with them. So the next stage of the project is for the launch. So in the launch, we will, we've worked with the Minister of Health in partnership. We've developed a range of fact sheets, both in English and Arabic. So that's tailored towards young people, health professionals, community members, and also just generally the wider community. So those fact sheets will be available in English and Arabic. We've also got the video coming up, the ShishaNoThanks video. So that's a campaign that was co-designed with the community. Again, so through all of these items that I've covered have been co-designed with the community. So we're launching a website very soon as well. So in the website, you'll have access to all the fact sheets, the videos, the range of resources that can be used not only by health professionals but also the wider community. So we just want to, at this particular stage, we really want to start that discourse about the harms of water pipe smoking. So we understand that it is a culturally and social acceptable practice. So starting that discussion really early, we hope that makes a difference. And that video, that's just one of our merchandise that I couldn't resist not to put on there. It's a cube. It's got the ShishaNoThanks. Sorry, my computer's just turned off, but that's all right. Time's up anyway. So, oh, it's black there as well. So that video was just a little cube. It's got ShishaNoThanks facts, some of the harms of shisha. It's just a cool toy to play with as well. So I'm just going to leave with a key message that is 1 hour of shisha session. So one shisha session is equivalent to about 45 minutes to 1 hour, is equivalent to 100 cigarettes. So I just want to leave that before I finish. So thank you.
Okay, so 100 cigarettes in one go, probably not a good idea. Does anyone have any questions for Dalya? Does anyone want one of those little cubes? They look fantastic. So I suppose I, of course, have a question. when you're thinking about, it's very exciting, you're working with the American University of Beirut. They've also done some really good work in terms of policy development and implementation science. You're working in a very, a community where you've got high numbers of Arabic-speaking Lebanese people. How do you then spread it? So once you've conquered your small world, what are the thoughts for how you take it further?
I think that's a really good question, and that would stay with the community. So because, again, it's a very sensitive topic, so this is all driven by the community. So we want to develop something by the community that's the community will actually use. So I guess the next stage is up to the community. So far, we've had some really, really good response. So from young people, which I'm actually quite surprised. So a lot of, when we had our video campaign, some of the feedbacks were, wow, I spent 3-4 hours here on a Friday night, get together, a barbecue, that I didn't actually smoke shisha, and they felt good. That was a positive feedback for them. So I guess the next step is with the community. So with that research that was done in 2017, there's a lot of research, especially with water pipe. What people are telling us is that policy change, it's very, very far into the future, and I don't think that's immediate action for us at this particular stage, because water pipe smoking is not really new, but it's been only, in the last 10, 15 years, I think, in Australia and some of the Western countries. So I guess the next stage is to really see how this project goes, and if it's being accepted by the community. So the next step would follow on from there.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? No. Thank you, Dalya.